How goes the family? Welcome back to Letters Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Today's topic, I'll basically be talking about my generation, the millennial generations. Why most millennials think that they're going to be really rich, but depending on what they're going to do or what they're not going to do, most likely they will not be. So we definitely live in a time when we can make a lot of money online from various different platforms, countries, all at the same time, right? Now, an article I read the other day, I was actually reading in various discussions that I've had with other people about this same specific subject, about, my generation and the older generation, talking about how so many millennials are not going to be rich like other generations. And basically stating reasons why. 66% of millennials today think that they are going to become financially wealthy one day, according to a Magnified Money Saver survey. One of the things that the survey conveyed is that respondents stated that my generation, the millennial generation, is the most confident generation at about 51% when it comes to becoming rich, compared to previous generations like Generation Xers, which was at 49%, and Baby Boomers, which is basically at 25%. Now, that is a very big difference compared to the Baby Boomer generation, but I will say that we are living in a time where there are a lot more rich and financially wealthier people compared to the previous generation, so it's hard to make the comparison of the two. Let's remember that the previous generations had real pensions too, and it was normal for people to not have outrageous college medical debt and mortgage debt and overpriced rent either. And because that's another thing that people don't take into consideration a lot, in my personal opinion, is one thing, is that you had less incentive to want to own your own business back during the generation Xers generation and the Baby Boomers generation, especially the Baby Boomers generation, because it was easier to just work a regular job, for 30 or 40 years, have a pension, and then most people back then, they weren't as transient as everybody else is today, meaning that people didn't move around from community to community like that. Now, you did have migrations of people moving to specific places. You had immigration and all that good stuff. But usually when people immigrated to the United States, they got to one place and they stayed there. Nowadays, that doesn't usually always work like that. Another thing is you having a great migration, like everybody was going north into the West Coast at one time, and everybody was going Midwest into the South. But a lot of times that's happening because people are starting all over in their new life, whether they're young or old. But we still live in a time frame where one can be living in Houston, Texas, and the next thing you know, their job moves them to Denver, Colorado, or vice versa. It just depends on the circumstances in which one's career or business takes them. So that's neither here nor there. When it really boils down to it. Now, one thing I could say in 2019 and going into 2020, because we're basically almost there, is own assets and partner up with people /groups /team economics time that we're living in. Another thing is that an older friend of mine that I stated, and coincidentally the article stated, is that millennials are a lot more positive, optimistic, and have more time to create and generate wealth than previous generations as well. I can see that, especially in the information age, with the permission of a teenager. Here's a great example. If a teenager and his parents actually give permission, he or she can actually open up individual retirement accounts and buy stocks and bonds and open up businesses before the age of 18. I've done multiple videos about teenagers and younger children with the support of their parents and friends opening up a bakery businesses, lawn care businesses, etc. Because the mindset in 2019 and beyond is people have to have more than just a job in their lives. They have to have assets. One of the greatest things that I've read in the article was that 55% define wealth not by particular numbers, but as the ability to live comfortably without concern about finances. And that is exactly how I define wealth, is not having to worry about money issues, living a life that I do not have to take a vacation from, and not really having to worry about having a job. Now, my financial journey is obviously different from yours and vice versa. However, you have to define what truly satisfies your financial happiness. I know I have. What's yours? For me, it has everything to do with making more money, saving more money, and investing more money. Those simple principles, and doing it by doing things that I'm actually love, I'm actually passionate about, and something that actually gives me more purpose in life outside of just a regular 9 to 5. Now, when it comes to when it does come to actual numerical values, okay, because it's all about the numbers, right? Nearly 18% of both millennials and baby boomers define wealth as having a net worth of about $1 million. Now, I can understand that because, great example, if I had that kind of net worth, I would just use that kind of money to buy more assets. But like I said, I'm different. I read that the average American millennial who has about $8,000 net worth is delaying life milestones because of student loan debts. They still rely on their parents for money. Now, obviously, this isn't all millennials. It's not a one-size-fits-all box that I'm placing my generation in, because the smartest ones are not only trying to make extra money via the sharing economy jobs like Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Amazon, DoorDash, etc. But the smartest ones are utilizing their extra income to pay down or off their debts. But they are buying more assets, becoming more financially literate. However, the article pointed out a negative but realistic reality that is going on right now. According to the 2019 Deloitte study, the net worth of Americans aged 18 to 35 has decreased by 34% since 1996, making them dramatically financially worse off than older generations. These reasons are not only because of student loan debt and the financial meltdown that actually took place in 2007 and 2008 timeframe. For a lot of families out here talking about financial intelligence, meaning ensuring that everyone has some sort of insurance policy, bonds, stocks, annuities, savings, generational real estate, more than just talking about becoming a college graduate and getting a job. Remember that a job stands for just over broke if you do not know what you're doing with money. Period. It's not being mean, it's just the reality of things. Millennials are less wealthy than previous generations were at the age of, at any point in their age, because between 1989 and 2007, according to The Economist, was cited at a recent paper at the Brookings Institute that, one of the biggest reasons why millennials are worse off is basically because of just overspending and the financial meltdown. The paycheck to paycheck lifestyle is alive and well. And if people do not try to start changing their spending habits and change how they do things outside of just the normal 9 to 5, then people are going to have it way more harder than they anticipated. Median household wealth was roughly 25% lower for those ages 20 to 35 in 2016 than it was for the same age group in 2007. That's something that people are not taking into account, is that there are a lot of opportunity out here, but we have too many people who want to do things by themselves, or they are constantly surrounded by people who want to talk about sports and politics than they do more about talking about how to obtain wealth for themselves, their families, and pass down that same information to those around them all at the same time. Okay, my mindset is, if you have friends that do not talk about money, then you need to get new friends, period, because you are who you hang out with. One of the biggest reasons why so many people are broke is because a lot of young adults, ages 25 to 34, have only seen about $25 income increase from 1979 to 2017, adjusted for inflation, according to a recent Super Money report. This income growth hasn't kept up with the staggering increases in home prices and education, and they have been going up no matter what state you live in, all of which it makes more difficult for millennials to save money. This is why more people have to have a mindset of not just obtaining earned income, but profit income, interest income, residual income, rental income, royalty income, and capital gains income. They say the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Okay, that's just your average millionaire. But the problem is, we live in a time where your average worker only has 1 stream of income, or if they have 2 streams of income, it's because they're working 2 jobs, or 3 jobs, so they have 3 streams of income, but they're worn out to the end. No matter who you are, eventually the chickens are going to come home to roost when it comes to you working like that. So we just live in a time frame where you have to do things differently. In the global and digital economy, there are much more than just being made off from passive income and from sales income. Sales affiliate marketing, etc. You know, these are areas that people need to look into. Most people I know that have jobs out here have some sort of connection with business ownership, and that behooves you. I listened to an NFL player today, and the individual was from Baltimore, I forgot his name, and he stated that, you know, real estate is one of the best ways to have secondary income for just in case something does happen. I totally agree with that. Because the crazy thing is, if people do not take advantage of this now, when they get older, they're going to suffer, and they don't realize that. Unless you're rich, I'm just talking about regular working people. You're going to suffer if you do not try to take advantage of this. You know, it's just what it is. Okay, because in 2020, all I'm asking you to do is go out there, grab a piece of the additional opportunities that are out there, because most jobs are not going to give you these opportunities. You have to go out there and get it. Even if you have a great paying job, even if you have the best benefits on the planet, by the time you're in your 50s or 60s, you want to be able to position yourself to where you don't have to have a job. Having a job becomes an option. Okay? Living your best life, meaning living where you want to live on your own terms, not because somebody has a job for you. You know, that's just my personal opinion. You know, it's getting more and more serious, and I don't think people are taking it that seriously. And if you don't, you have to just, one, it's in your best interest to do it, and two, always remember, you can't get fired if you own the company, but if you work for somebody, you're always in a position where you could get fired. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, check out the online store, and I will see you guys next time. Definitely will wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Feliz Dia de Gracias, Feliz Dia de Acción de Gracias, all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys before Thursday. Take care.